All right. So, hey there, runners. So, they dropped a new update to address some of the other issues that people were complaining about. So, we got update 1053. So, I'm going to read a couple of these things out. First issue was the combat knife reduced maximum lunge distance by 10% and trimmed down the targeting angle by 20%. I honestly am kind of 50-50 about this one specifically just because I don't think the knife itself was that much of an issue. I really think if people are complaining about knives, they should have changed maybe the implants status effects to the knifing. Mind you, you already get a boost to your knife from your faction, and then with the implants adding more, Knife Strike V4 and Knife Strike V3 adding more to your knife, it's going to be at 100, 90 to 100, which again is enough to break a shield within maybe like 3 hits, regardless of what kind of shield it is. I don't really think they should have did anything with the knives, to be honest. I didn't see an issue with the lunging, because I haven't been killed enough by knives lunges for it to affect me. People may be experiencing different things, but I didn't see an issue with the lunging from the knives. The next thing is the bubble shield. I was kind of concerned about this. It's not the rarity going from blue to superior. That's fine. It'll be less of them on the map, especially through cryo. And it's going to be a higher value item when you loot, higher tier stuff as far as strong boxes and things of that nature. Reducing the bubble HP by 33%. I personally think that is a problem because the bubble does a lot, especially when people are trying to swing you. I think the bubble health was fine because there's literally weapons in the game that can like two-shot the bubble, three-shot to two-shot the bubble. We're talking about maybe the circuit breaker shotgun, the Ares weapons, and I don't know if there's another weapon. I think I may be missing one, but there's guns that can actually just 2 to 3 shot the bubble itself. I don't think this was a positive, but we'll have to see. Plus, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about hackers and dealing with cheaters that play on the crossplay, and the bubble kind of secures you from having to deal with that at such a high rate of speed, because most people get pushed, and they don't have a way to kind of defend themselves from those pushes. Remove vulnerability to volt weapon damage. I think that's also a problem too. The volt weapons, they do burst damage on the UESC robots, which it's designed to break shields. The weapon is designed to break shields. I don't think taking off their vulnerability to volt weapons helps at all either, because then people might stop using them altogether. But again, we'll have to see. That's something that you'll have to kind of really uh, look into, kind of see how it affects gameplay for like guns like the V66 Lookout or the C11 V Punch, which is a really good gun, especially for the circuit breaker shotgun or the channel sniper. Those are a lot of bolt weapons that may be reduced in damage because of this fix. They increased resistance to UESC damage by 17%. I'm kind of 50-50 on that one as well. I like the added pressure that the robots put on you during certain combat scenarios. I think it's important for teams to understand that like you have to communicate and be on the same page when it means clearing out robots. Even in a gunfight, you may have to prioritize clearing out robots, first before you even initiate with a team or use them as a distraction. Making the damage that you receive from the robots less, it may kind of help teams take advantage of certain encounters, but again, we'll have to see how that affects. I'm 50-50 on that one specifically. The runner stats, melee damage reduced, damage provided by the melee damage stat for a maximum of 100% to 50%. So I'm assuming this is for the implants. Again, this is bonus damage, so this is more likely going to the implants. So they reduce the bonus damage that you get from implants and the lunge itself. More than likely, I don't know if it's going to change the effectiveness of a knife. Again, two people swinging knives at you, you're going to go down. I don't think there's really a remedy for that. People are just going to feel how they feel about it. And then they put out a note: melee and marathon is intended to be a high risk but potent method to contend close quarters. Weapons like shotguns, which I don't think most knives don't contend with shotguns, depending on the rarity of the shotgun. Some machine guns, yeah, they're definitely gonna contend with that. However, breakpoint for the quick melee kills show up too early in the melee damage stat progression, which means additional investments into a build isn't required to get the maximum effective output. So they're saying that basically certain implements or implants are not needed to get the maximum effective output of the knife. So that's the reason why they dumb down what is provided when you do put the implants in, which I guess makes sense now. We don't want to compromise on having melee feel powerful, but they believe that getting to the maximum outfit should be the best result for meaningful build crafting and upgrade progression. Our goal for this change and the knife lunge changes above are that the knife remains powerful backup tool, but requires more thoughtful play, both in and out of runs, to be more effective. Again, I'm gonna use this in any bubble situation. If I'm running out of ammo, if I've broken your shield with my shotgun or my regular primary, I'm gonna probably run at you with a knife, depending on how close we are. Fixed additional grapple-related slide cancel movement exploits. I've seen some things like that on Twitter. I can't really weigh in on that. I don't know how to move like that. I don't have that movement down. Fixed an issue causing the vault and armory to sometimes appear to be empty. I've seen people complain about that on Twitter, about their stuff being gone. Glad they got that fixed. Fixed an issue causing the armory item refreshes and free delay items to not appear consistently. I've noticed that. I thought like I was just maybe missing the time window for the replenishments, or maybe I'd already tapped into it so I couldn't go back into it. Traxxas contracts removed and a single run condition from Traxxas returns on investment. Number 4 out of 5. I guess people are having trouble with that. Some of these in a single run contracts are a bit of an issue because some of them require you, especially like if you have missions in Dire Marsh, they want you to go to Complex to say bio research, then all the way to Quarantine, or all the way from Complex to maintenance to algae ponds, which is a lot of movement. But again, it gets you to interact with other teams and the environment. So I never really have an issue with how the single runs are. It's more of a prioritize what you need to prioritize before you get into the run, and make sure that your team is aware. Like, are we going to do keys? Are we going to do contracts only? Are we in here killing and looting other teammates or other teams? So I think that's, I feel 50-50 about that as well. The Cryo Archive fixed an issue that would cause an exfil countdown to reset if the first crew member to enter the left the circle, even if the other crew members were in the circle. So this might have been an exploit, because if it resets if someone enters then leaves, that's kind of beneficial as far as managing the time. Now I guess you're just on that fixed time, which again, I see this as a proper fix to the game. I don't really have an issue with that. So my main tanky points from this update, I'm not really happy about the bubble shield health being reduced, because the bubble shield prevents a lot of unwanted griefing from hackers or cheaters that are in the crossplay, and it also gives you time to reset. Being that there are weapons that can easily 2 to 3 shot the shield, I think this may be an issue in the future, but I can't be too certain about that, to be honest with you. So time will tell, to be honest. But I think for right now, it may be a problem. I've had a team try to thirst us recently in a game. We used a bubble shield and they're just spraying bullets out of it, and it took a second for the shield to break, but it's the point of, with that 30% decrease in health, it's going to make it a little more pressing upon the person who throws the bubble shield to not outright, rely on it to keep them safe. So in Cryo, the bubble shields are dominant when it comes to resetting your team, as far as when someone gets down or just taking a breather to get an idea of how to pursue the encounter. So this is going to change a lot in Cryo. It's definitely going to change a lot in Cryo, and it's definitely going to change a lot in ranked and crossplay gameplay. Also, the vulnerability to Volt weapon damage is also going to change how people use their weapons, especially Volt weapons, because if people were not aware of it, Volt weapons do a lot of damage to shields. If there were people that were aware of this, they're going to feel kind of cheated out of that. So, I think this was a good update. I like that, Bungie is reacting to the people. People are important. I think this was a good update. I think it came swiftly amongst all the issues with the knifing. I think they mentioned the knifing being an issue maybe like 2 weeks ago. And here we are with an update to basically not dull the knife, but make it to where it is something that you have to set a game plan up for, as far as how you use it, how you go about it, which is good. I think it'll make people rely more on their weapons, which in most instances in close quarter combat, people do not rely on their weapons. I've seen a lot of knives, people just pull it out because they know it's going to two-shot or three-shot. So I think this is a good update. All in all, I'm 50-50 about certain things. I'm really unsure of the bubble HP decrease. It's probably the biggest one I do not like, just for what the bubble provides. I think it being upgraded from a blue deluxe item to superior purple item is smart. That way its rarity makes it a little more inaccessible on every run. You won't just run into it all the time, being it as a blue weapon, blue rarity, because I used to run into it all the time. So we'll see how this plays out. I got to get some runs in, but that is my opinion, my thoughts on the Marathon Dev Team's update, update 1053. But yeah, I think they're doing great, man. I think they're doing great. I love this game. I love that they're responsive to it. I just hope that it, it keeps its consistency going forward, as far as them reaching out to us with the new updates and them being vocal about the things that we have issues with.